Hi there, welcome to Airing Out. I'm Josh.
And I'm Jonas.
And this is Jerry. And after numerous complaints about our attire, we've decided to dress up. Nice and smart.
Nice and smart.
Nice and smart. Yeah, even Jerry's put his tie on.
Why not? Yeah.
Yeah, we've got nowhere to be.
He's all suited up. Like, this is black tie.
This is the poshest I've seen him.
Yeah. I don't know if I like it. He seems very snobby.
I know. It goes straight to his head. He gets a power trip.
Slightly pretentious.
It's okay.
We'll keep him in check.
But yeah, so today though, we're going to be answering some more questions from you guys. There's a couple funny would you rathers that we missed, so we'll be answering them. Talk a little bit about what inspired us to make our movie.
Yes.
I'll give an update as to our progress on Money Heist, which has gone downhill. And then go through one of our favourite directors, Taika Waititi's filmography that we've seen, and kind of our opinion on each film.
Yeah,
if you want to jump straight to where you want to be, timestamps are in the video description as per. Thanks for watching and leaving a like, it really helps us out. Subscribing,
commenting,
clicking the bell icon, it really does help.
Share it.
And if you've got any feedback and stuff or any questions, do just leave them a comment below. And we're always happy to answer them.
We are. Give us something to do.
Yes, please. I mean, we're at the point now where we're wearing suits for no reason.
I don't know. A lot of people do that. It's like, oh, I'm going to just put on makeup just to feel like I've accomplished something.
Do you often find yourself wearing makeup?
I do.
And
we'll leave it at that.
Yeah. Okay then.
That's totally fair. No, but it's nice to get up and get dressed in the morning.
Yeah, there's a difference between getting dressed and doing up a top button, but
that's true.
I do feel a sense of accomplishment. I'll give you that.
I feel like a lot of people resort to like a night pajama and a day pajama.
That's fair.
Yeah.
I guess so. I don't know.
You can tell us if you do that.
Don't sleep in pajamas.
Oh.
Well, it's pretty warm in here. Got a lot of blankets.
It is pretty warm in here.
Yeah.
That's very personal information, Josh.
Is it?
Thank you for sharing.
Yeah, you can all have thoughts about that now.
Yeah. Right, first question.
Let's get right into
it. What is our favorite colors?
So we really have dips the bottom of the barrel here.
Yeah. Wow.
Thanks, Ellie, for asking.
Yes, thank you, Ellie. Do you have a favorite color?
In terms of on a color chart?
Yes.
No.
In terms of
I'm not
wearing?
A child. In terms of clothes, yeah.
Yeah,
I quite like a deep dark purple.
Deep dark, like your tie.
Like my tie. Exactly, and the little bips on my shirt.
Okay.
I've got a nice purple jacket. I think it's a good color. It needs to be like dark though. If it's too bright, it comes off as showy, and you look like you're trying to be the Joker or something. But like
it should be like is that black? No, it's not black.
Yeah, it's not black, but it's not quite like burgundy either or maroon. It's just that kind of just off.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm gonna put some thought into this.
Matt, I don't know. I would have to say the same thing about like
Corona.
I'd have to say the same thing about color charts though, because I don't know. It's like there's so many nice colors out there, but I wouldn't say there's one that speaks to me. Even like dressing.
You wear a lot of green.
I wear a lot of green. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's true.
Works.
It works, absolutely. Yeah. It works well with...
Yeah, but I'm definitely not one of those people that's like, oh, my favourite colours... Oh, see, even purple. But would I paint the walls purple? Or even an accent wall? No. No. Walls are white.
Yeah.
Like
I'd know. And stuff like green is definitely like... For example, I've bought my blue suit, and so like I started buying green shirts, because that's like a... nice combination.
See, I did the blue and pink.
Yes. Classic.
I know.
Yeah. No, so like I guess stocking up your wardrobe, you kind of like, since I don't buy everything to have everything.
No, that would
like
be
only
excessive, I feel.
I don't know. Yeah. People do.
People definitely do.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't really go about having favorite colors. It used to be red.
As a kid?
Yeah, as a kid I would be like red, because of like so many different things it means.
Ooh. See, I was blue as a kid because it was when I was playing like Colin McRae Rally, I would always go with the Subaru, which is blue. And its nemesis is the Mitsubishi, which is red. So I was a blue kid.
Blue kid.
But then of course you get older and realize that Subarus have a terrible reputation for like a 40-year-old midlife crisis car. So,
oops.
No offense if you have a Subaru. They are really cool. So you can't. But
deep down inside, you still are blue, but
I just can't let it out.
You can't let it out. Oh.
Totally balled up in my subconscious. Oh man,
madness.
Fair. Now we also got asked about how Jerry got his name.
Yeah.
Some people wondered if it was because our podcast would be JJJ. Truthfully, I'm not smart enough to think of that.
No. And there are JJJs out there, like in terms of our friend group and stuff. Like.
Oh yes. Yes, I actually have 2 group chats called JJJ on Facebook Messenger.
Yeah.
Which is very confusing.
It is. Yeah, why would you do that?
I didn't mean to. I didn't realize.
Call it one. Top number one. The best.
I'm going to have to go back and rename it now and be like, No, I don't know. I just obviously gravitate towards people with the same initial as me.
Yes.
It must be. But no, Jerry is named as such because his fur has a similar color to Sailor Jerry rum.
I don't know who that is.
Sailor, I've kind of bottled around. And then the rum.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, they changed their recipe 5-6 years ago. It used to be like top tier cheap rum, and now it's like mid tier cheap rum. It doesn't go any higher.
That's too bad. Boom.
There you go. Turn the microphone volume up a little bit.
Let's do it.
We want to be
heard. Interesting.
Yeah, so I'm feeling quiet because my top button is attacking my throat. So I reduced myself to a low gargle.
No, that's fair. I don't know. Jerry?
This is close enough to rum color.
It's a nice color.
Yeah, and he suits it. Look at him. Well, happy boy. He's got a little loose thread. I know.
Yeah, he's also trying to grow out a beard.
Yes, we actually, I must admit, I gave up.
You gave up?
Well,
I was cheating
Jonas
a little
shaved.
bit. I was like trimming it down here.
But the whole point is it looks awful. And you had a 4-day head start, which is already a substantial
I don't know.
time.
I would
when he
let
came
the
in one
audience
day and
decide.
I was like, that looked alright because he's got rid of his neck beard, and I'm sitting there like,
that's the only.
Yeah, it's the only thing I've got. So I was like, right, I'm done.
I would let the audience decide whether or not this looks bad.
No, your beard looks fine because you've trimmed it. God.
Just.
But it's fine. I think I see it's because I've got the better cheekbones and jawline than you anyway. So.
Fair. Okay. Wow.
Look, I have to, otherwise I'd be.
Gosh.
Useless and losing.
Useless. Next question.
Next question.
A must-see movie, and there's a premise to this. It's a cold day, so maybe it's
like a cold winter's day. You're tucked in, snowing outside. What's a good movie to watch?
And why?
Why?
I don't know if it's like because it's cold and you would presume that it is snowy and maybe Christmassy. If that's a movie you would go for.
Yeah, usually
but I'm not
February here.
That's fair. And I'm also not a big like Christmas films are amazing because they're Christmas films. Like
I'd go the opposite approach. I don't like Christmas films that much.
Because they're Christmas films?
No, they're just a bit cliche.
They are.
Like,
it's
don't get
usually
me wrong.
Get Home for Christmas.
I don't mind Elf, right?
Yeah.
But how many films of that tier do you watch yearly? Because, like, there's not many things I watch every year. A very limited list.
Yeah.
And I think to put something like that on it would be a little bit insane.
I guess if you actually enjoy it.
Good for them. Yeah. No, I definitely, that's definitely something we should say, actually, because I know I'm definitely very critical. If you enjoy something that we don't, then be our guest, go for it. In fact, tell us why you do. Because that's more interesting, rather than people just saying, oh, but I like it. You know, let us know and why I disagree, but...
I mean, we do always try to say why.
Why we don't like something, yeah.
Yeah, because that is always important. I don't know, I just feel like the fact that something is about Christmas doesn't make it a better movie. And so, like, I think a lot of films somehow try to get away with that, and you're like, nope.
Well, actually,
still not good.
So a Christmas film I have seen too many times is Love Actually.
I've only seen that like twice, maybe.
Right. I hate it. Okay? Because I understand the point is that love can be complicated and flawed, right?
Yeah.
But for a feel-good Christmas movie, every single relationship in that is hideously flawed.
Yes.
I'm willing to go through them, if needs be. You've got the guy who proposes to the Spanish girl that they've never actually communicated with in the same language. That's too far. It's not healthy. You've got the boss, Alan Rickman, cheating on his wife with whatever.
She's
lady.
German.
Of course she is. Wait, the wife or the secretary?
The secretary.
Of course she is. There's 40%
Emma
of our
Thompson
audience
is not German. No.
Well, I don't know where Emma Thompson's from. You've got the guy who confesses his love to his best friend's wife after the marriage.
Yeah.
Not good.
Don't do that.
Don't do that.
If you're gonna keep it to yourself, keep it to yourself.
Yeah. You've got
Don't want
the singer.
That could be a film in and of itself.
What? Oh,
like
yeah,
that drama, that whole thing, figuring it out.
But yeah, you've got the singer who's super lonely and has nobody, so that's sad.
I feel it in my fingers.
But don't start singing. You do the whole song if we let him. Is that it? Is that all of it? The worst offender in a post 9/11 world. No, okay.
Okay.
In a post 9/11 world.
Yes.
The kid that runs for airport security to say goodbye.
Yes.
Right? You can't do that anymore.
That was, by the way, I think this is the same realm as Maze Runner, and that was his start.
Oh, it's the same actor.
Well, not the main character in Maze Runner, but he's in Maze Runner.
No.
Yeah, guys.
But yeah, like you can't run for airport security where you get tackled, kid or not, you'd get rugby tackled to the ground. So that always annoys me in realism. So I think it would be hilarious if he's like running for the girl and he just gets
the policemen are like, oh no, it's for love.
He just gets kneecapped. You're like, ooh. Yeah, you've got the prime minister who's kind of forced to get that girl who also got with the American president. Not cool. And then because all the public sees them kissing, they kind of have to be together for a bit because of the terrible media. So that's not really a healthy relationship. I think that's it. I think that's everything. The best part of that film, though, Rowan Atkinson fucking kills it when he's wrapping the presents up.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
I have to say that with, like, having to be together with, like... I would propose...
The girl that takes care of her brother over that guy that's trying really hard. Like, you can juggle your time.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Like, she just pies him, and it...
I would say a film that I thoroughly enjoyed, that surprised me in that regard, was Long Shot. And I think that's a film that I'd be happy to watch, like, just, like, very...
I would watch that again.
Very casual. I wouldn't say, like, it's critically acclaimed, like, it's not on that, but it absolutely doesn't have to be. And I'm also very for a film that isn't that, because most of the time you're not there to watch Green Mile and be all sad and depressed and whatever. You want to watch a movie that is somewhat casual and
but that's on Netflix, isn't it?
Yeah. And I think Long Shot is an amazing film for how
it's a very realistic approach to what that situation would be.
Yeah.
Let's not spoil it too much, because I do think people should go and watch it, because I don't think many people have seen it.
No, but it is, when you said, like, the relationship between someone who's, like, in office and someone who's not, and how to deal with that publicly.
No,
it's deals with that, and it's cool.
No. But going back to Love Actually real quick, I don't think it's a bad movie. I have seen it many times for a reason, but I don't agree that it's a feel-good film. Okay? There's not one relationship there that's like, okay, no, this is actually a couple that love each other in a healthy way. So that's why I don't like how it's like a Christmas film. It's like a anti-romance film, really.
Yeah, there are not a lot of...
Like
see.
Whereas sometimes, like, Long Shot actually does go about it much better in terms of the two that like each other have chemistry.
Yeah.
And
they struggle with the situation, not with each other.
Which is nice.
Yeah.
That's very refreshing, because how many relationships do you get into where the middle portion of a movie, so like, the middle hour, they hate each other and they get back together? That doesn't happen in real life. You hate each other, you hate each other.
Yeah.
It doesn't go back. But no, I would say Long Shot. On a different note, we did mention it before, but definitely my, like, locked in a cabin to watch a movie is Hateful Eight. just because it's long, you can get your stew.
That is also very much the it's cold outside kind of film.
Yeah,
like,
yeah. But like they're locked in a cabin, you're locked in a cabin, but it's not like a horror film cabin horror. But like just they're all stewed up together. I think that's nice.
That's cool.
It's definitely, and it's long enough that it can take up most of your day.
Yes.
But there's something to be said for that, because sometimes, like, I mean, even last night we watched Ocean's 11.
Yeah.
Because we're still in a bit of a heist phase, and it's like, I mean, that film's not long at all.
No.
But like you watch it, they do the heist, and you go,
Another?
cool. Yeah, like great. We still, the evening's still young, so it's kind of, I think, a film that you're like, once you spend a day with, you can stop, make your lunch, come back,
Yeah.
Yeah. That'd be my go-to.
There you have it, guys.
There you have it. There's your 2 recommendations.
For Christmas.
Well, winter. Okay. I mean, at the moment, we're all stuck in quarantine, so it's basically the same thing.
What's actually funny is that in Germany, or at least like in Berlin, I think, I've seen that a couple of my friends posted this on their stories, is that it's snowing.
Oh!
And I was like, it hardly happens that they actually have worse weather, like significantly worse weather than we do.
It's really nice at the moment.
It's really nice here. It's sunny.
Nice and sunny. Quite warm. Definitely like a t-shirt and light hoodie weather.
So maybe it is actually quite
relevant.
Is
it
quite topical
like
for you
guys?
Snow? I don't think it is, no.
Just cold.
Yeah.
Fair.
Weird.
Oh well.
The world is strange. But I mean, it's fair. It's still it's only it is April.
One more day till April.
Oh.
When we're recording. It's the 31st today. I don't actually know what day of the week it is. Monday? Tuesday?
Tuesday?
Does anyone know anymore?
Someone
it even did ask how long we'd been in quarantine, and I was like, honestly, I have no idea. It's been at least a week.
It's been 2 weeks.
I don't think it's quite been 2 weeks though.
No, because like it was. My parents left on a Tuesday, so it must be like 2 weeks
since
exactly.
Then, yeah, but we weren't in quarantine then, obviously. Maybe a week and a half. Time is just
definitely. Yeah. What is time?
Speaking of a question we can actually answer.
Yeah. Sure. Yes.
We got asked what inspired us to make our movie that we made last year.
Yeah.
I think, for me anyway, it was the frustration of the film course we were doing at university.
That definitely inspired us to make a film.
Yes. Yeah. I think there was lots of different steps to it. So I think the first thing was, let's make a movie, and then what kind of movie should we make? So that first course, COG, was kind of... our course is very theoretical. And I think it just further exaggerated how much it's like, I just want to learn how to make movies. And then we kind of, between us, realized that we probably had the skill set between us to actually
do it.
And then went in terms of what genre would we do, how would we write it, how would we cast for it.
Yeah, I guess we got into that in previous episodes about like thinking about what is feasible to us with the resources we have, and then kind of going off of that. But yeah, what inspired us to make film? I think that's also very funny, because like yesterday, after watching Ocean's 11, we ended up watching like 2 hours worth of bonus features for Star Wars Episode 3,
Revenge of the Sith. Yeah. So I did Star Wars, I guess, 10 movie marathon for my birthday last year, and all the
over
Amazon
2 days.
Over 2, yeah. It'd be insane otherwise. Because that'd be like 30 hours of movies straight. You can do Lord of the Rings Hobbit straight, but not all the Star Wars films anymore.
Even I've done it once. Pretty bad.
Yeah, but they all came with bonus features, and I knew it wasn't the extras that are on the DVD, which of course I've seen. So I was kind of curious what they were. And Ocean's 11 ended, and I was kind of like, I'm just gonna put it on. You were like, I'll just make dinner. But then it actually ended up being really interesting.
Yeah. So they talked through, they talked through the process of making that final fight scene.
Yes, the duel.
Yeah. Between Anakin and Obi-Wan. But it's kind of like it was just a snapshot of what it takes to make a film, really, because they go through every single department that is
like
working.
Down to catering.
Yeah,
like,
down to
very
catering.
focused. Like
Yeah, very
the
thorough.
Whole thorough, yeah.
I mean, they have 2 hours, so it was basically a not a mockumentary, a documentary of them making film, and I think afterwards I was like, if they would have started our course with that as a screening.
Yeah, I mean, it would have been a very odd screening to start with, but then at the same time, so we started by watching Under the Skin. Was the first one we watched, which is a film where she walks around Glasgow. And
doesn't speak. There's not a lot of dialogue.
About the human experience.
Yeah, she's an alien.
It turns out, but
spoiler. Sorry.
But you only find out at the very end when she like sheds her skin and becomes this.
Well, she does the whole Man in Black thing where she like
peels away, and then it's this like black, basically like what a normal like green-headed alien would look like, but just with like pure black skin. It's very funky. Surreal, very odd.
It's a bit, yeah.
Not really. There's not much to say about it. It's just kind of a lot of people seem to love it. It was not for me.
I think it was definitely a choice of like, you're not necessarily here to like watch movies and enjoy everything you watch, but like to think about movies critically, and so like maybe watch different kinds, like be challenged to watch different kinds of film and stuff.
But I do think starting with the snapshot, I mean, there was just over 1,000 people worked on that final fight.
Yeah.
In Star Wars, and to go through all of it, and you're like, okay, we now have an understanding of how the process of this one be. It's also not a film that like, so say you watch the making of Battle of Five Armies, The Hobbit. Yeah. You'd have this whole thing about how Peter Jackson was chucked on super late, and there was all this discrepancies with the writing. They were fixing it all in post, and it was kind of like a muddied production, which is usually what you get. But this was actually like they had it planned out, you know, and they did reshoots, but obviously not like, oh no, we need to do reshoots. It was just like, oh, we need a couple scenes here and there to do.
Yeah, to have reshoots planned ahead of time as well. Like we'll know we'll probably.
It's in their contract. We'll need you back for 5 days just to get a couple little close-ups that we didn't quite get.
Yeah.
And I think that was really interesting to see when everything's running smoothly, how it runs.
Yeah. Because I think also from an analytical point of view, you can then go and like, oh, okay, I can now analyze what the camera did. I can now analyze what the production design did. I can analyze what all these different departments did actually, and whether or not I think they did a good job, or if I would want to have seen something else, like, oh, that shot of a volcano erupting is very pretty, but absolutely unnecessary at this point. Yeah, stuff like that.
And it had the arguments that they had, but they weren't like huge arguments that derailed the production. It was just like, oh no, I think the sound mixing here is better with the more music rather than more sound effects, and vice versa, and showed you how they actually leveled out those discussions and got to a conclusion, which from a filmmaker's point of view is interesting.
So definitely School of Culture and Creative Arts at the University of Glasgow.
Take notes.
Take notes, yeah.
I think it was done very well.
I don't think they'll ever see this. Maybe.
No, maybe. If we send it to the right people.
We should send it to...
but no, I thought it was really interesting, and it kind of gave it a really good snapshot.
Yeah. So if you do get the chance, watch it.
How, like... I mean, obviously on a larger scale production, you've got more moving parts, but there's stuff that they did where it was like, oh, okay, no, we actually had that covered. Like, yeah, okay, one of us did it, or one of our extras or something. Yeah. But it was cool to be like, oh, okay, we did think about X, Y, and Z. We covered all the departments that we needed. Obviously, we didn't need any special effects or stuff. But
we didn't have costume design, but we did that. Well, we went shopping ourselves.
We went shopping. We got it all fitted. We dirtied the costumes up. They said they had 14 outfits for Anakin in that one 20-minute segment alone.
Yeah, just to have like more and more.
We got one more lava droplet. Yeah. One more lava droplet.
It's insane.
Like, oof. But no, like we had that. We had catering on a way smaller scale in terms of like, okay, we made up packed lunches beforehand. We did our financing. We did the dailies and made call sheets. Like, we had it all, and it's interesting to see like how, as a production largens, as you get more sections, how you get that covered.
Absolutely, because then just adding more people means they can do more specific jobs within that. So, I guess that also leads us straight into the next question, like what experience did we rely on or need to make the film?
Well, you obviously had experience on a set.
It's hard to say like what we need, because it means like trying to think about what if we didn't have any, because like
I think just a basic understanding. So that's another thing that you don't get on the film course though, was like an understanding of how a film set works.
How a film set works? No, absolutely not.
Like in terms of, because I mean anyone that's any of the jobs I've done, say everyone turns up at 9:00. Whether you're a cleaner, a barman, whatever. You start when your shift starts. Probably everyone starts at the same time. Maybe a manager half an hour before, and that's it. Whereas on a film set, that's not the case at all.
Yeah, no, you definitely have different starting times, and it really depends on when you need who, because time is always money, and to have more people to juggle at the same time means more stress. Yeah, no, definitely. I don't think it really depends on the scale of the project, but if you're starting off, you don't need any experience. And I think you can do a lot of yes, you will have to do a lot of experimenting until you get somewhere.
I think it'd be good to work on, like if you had no one with any experience, try and help out someone else's film first.
Yeah.
Just to get an idea, because even little things that like I wouldn't even thought of straight up would like, we shouldn't film a scene with our two main characters, 4 scenes with just one of them, set before, and then a scene with 2 of them, because that means you're dragging someone around all day, you need to feed them, and then they'll probably get bored and antsy, and people start talking on set and stuff like that. Just little kind of quality of life improvements that you'll pick up off other people. Whereas if you just tried to do it straight off, I think you'd make a lot of errors that then probably piss a lot of people off, even if you don't mean to.
No.
But people just get bored. And
I think that's when when you're getting to a certain level of quality that you can plan in a way that's like, I'm trying to make it as comfortable for everyone as possible, rather than, let's just chuck everything in on that day and see how we get along. But yeah, also things that like, I talked about this in an earlier podcast about my director of photography being like, what time of day are we shooting this? Because we need the right angle of the sun. And I was like, we need what now? It's like, because it'll be coming down the street like this, and we'll have like huge shadows, but like a super bright background. I was like, oh my lord. To have to think about that. But yeah, I think that's also experience really, really comes with actual experience on a film set. So definitely get yourself out there,
and you might meet people there that will be able to help you out on your film as well, which definitely doesn't hurt.
Learning by doing.
In terms of, I think more than that is kind of a mindset thing though. Like,
what kind of mindset?
Well, between us, we've got different approaches to things, but I think that works well. So I'd probably say I'm a bit more analytical.
Sure.
You're like, no. No, but in terms of the organization stuff.
Oh, yeah, you definitely went for that more than...
Yeah, but I don't mind doing that, and it also means, like, if someone's not on set on time and something, being able to deal with that in a proper professional way, rather than just like, oh, that's all right, mate, don't worry about it, like, we'll sort it out, because obviously you've done the pre-planning, so that everything's filmed on time, so that you've got the right lighting, etc., and also enough time to film each scene. Don't try and film 1 scene in a day, but don't also do 10. You want a nice
amount.
The longer you've got per scene, the more time you've got to perfect it, really. But yeah, so if people aren't turning up, you do need to have a little bit of a firm hand on
definitely it. Not something I would want to do as a director, because obviously as a director you're always trying to work with them.
Yeah, exactly.
And so like if you have to put down your foot, then you start to have a weird kind of relationship that you don't necessarily... I don't know, some directors might want that to be like very authoritative, but definitely not my style.
It wasn't what we were going for, which I think is good that there was 2 of us.
Yeah, absolutely.
That we could like, okay, actually, if someone needs a little bit of a tell-in, then it's not
even
you that's
good
doing
cop, bad cop, but like
you
slightly
just
in that.
Yeah, but I think just you only got one person that's a cop.
Also, why you have an assistant director.
Get them to do it.
Honestly, assistant director, he can get everyone to get a move on.
Yeah.
And they don't start hating the director.
Yeah, no, definitely.
Which is very important.
But you don't want people to be not happy on set.
Yeah.
But also you can't let it be so relaxed that it's like you film a take and it's like, coffee?
Yeah.
You know, exactly. there is that kind of line that you've got to juggle.
Yeah. But I also feel like that's a lot of mindset for people because like everyone is there to make the film.
Yes. Yeah.
While having a good time.
But
like,
I guess it's your job if you're making a movie to
film.
make sure, like you set the tone. For sure. So.
Yeah.
Definitely. But I think that's definitely something to think about is how you want to run your production.
Yeah, exactly. What kind of vibe you want to have.
Definitely.
Right. Now we've got some
spare would you rathers.
We got 3 would you rathers that are would Jonas, would I rather fight Josh or Jerry?
I could never.
Josh, would you rather fight me or Jerry? And Jerry, who would you rather fight?
Is this like, do we get weapons? Or is it hand to hand?
I don't know. It wasn't very specific. I don't know if it's like I guess no weapons.
No weapons?
I guess just like a very classic. I
don't think I stand a chance.
Classic fit. Against Jerry.
Against you. I've got the range.
That's true.
Like a good...
Let's put it this way. We'd never want to find out. And so...
No, yeah, I don't see us ever fighting. Yeah. I mean, I've never been in a fight.
Yeah, I've never been in a fight either.
I don't count myself as that sort of person that gets into the situations.
Yeah.
Also, I don't know, I'm a big fan of, like, verbal...
Yeah, so I wouldn't want to fight you in that sense, because I definitely lose. But this guy studies philosophy.
My job is to argue.
Don't do it.
But no, like, even I've definitely gotten into disagreements with people that aren't as verbally inclined and will, like, they have tried to fight. But, you just ridicule them for that. Because obviously it's a kind of, I would argue, a little bit more of a... I don't want to say less evolved, but like...
No, I guess... No, but that's... It's because argumentation is a skill. That's also what they're trying to teach us in school and at university, I would say, is to argue. I
think it's such a human base reaction to be like, oh, this guy's pissing me off, I'll just punch him in the face.
Oh, yeah.
Which I'm just like, okay, if that's your level, we're not on the same level to fight.
Oh, yeah.
But obviously, if someone really did get me in a corner and try and mug me, I'd be like,
please don't.
I'm out.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I did judo for a decade.
I wouldn't, no.
I wouldn't rely on that, though.
No, absolutely not. I did taekwondo for like a year.
Okay.
But I would definitely not rely on that. I only made it to yellow belt before I stopped, so that's
I always laugh, like, because we have to walk through like an alleyway to get to uni, and definitely one of our mates was like, "Oh, do you never get scared of getting mugged?" A, there's no one ever in that alleyway apart from dog walkers, but B, also I don't carry cash on me.
Yeah.
Ever. So like I've got my phone, which is worth £100 maybe. No, so it's worthless. It's not like, if you mug someone you get an iPhone X. I don't wear jewelry. I'm like, no,
but like
not really.
Even when you get mugged, like you're not gonna actually start and fight people.
No, but a lot of people do. Like I've got a few friends that are like, oh yeah, no, like I'd fight my way off. I'm like, to defend what? Your credit cards that you can cancel within 10 minutes. It's not like you live far.
Let's get on some more questions.
I gotta go on your phone.
Fair.
Yeah. But no, I'm
not just texting.
I don't know who would win in a fight between the two of us, really.
I don't know who Jerry would pick.
Jerry wouldn't want to fight me.
Yeah, he would pick me.
Presumably.
Yeah, I don't know.
He's losing his stuff in a little bit. I don't think he'd put up much of a...
Maybe he's a bit mad at you. I don't know.
Well, I
for
don't let
snoring.
Him out.
Yeah.
For snoring.
I don't know. Alright, this is a question my brother asked, and I don't know what he was thinking, but he wants to know, Would you rather wipe your butt with bare hands or stay at home for 6 months straight?
Ironically, in the situation we're in, we might be doing both. For out of toilet paper and quarantine lasts 6 months.
Maybe if you're staying. That's like in the Dark Knight. Do you choose death or exile?
Yeah,
and he's
yeah.
like, exile. Okay, it's death
by exile.
Oh no, he's like, I'm definitely not gonna get exiled or whatever. He chooses death.
No, he says, if you think I'm gonna walk out on that ice.
Exactly. Yeah.
So Dark Knight Rises. Yeah.
He chooses death, and he's like, okay, death by exile. So, if the 6 months straight mean that I still get toilet paper, and even if I don't have toilet paper, I would find different ways to clean.
You have to wipe with your hand.
That's bad.
It's not great.
No, would not do that.
You'd stay inside for 6 months.
I
You're
can
more
do
of
that.
an outdoor cat than I am, though. I think you'd struggle.
I think I can. It really. I can keep myself busy.
Interesting.
If I get to open the window once in every while.
If I get to open the window, I would probably. I mean, I don't mind being inside. My life hasn't changed that much since quarantine started.
That's true.
Apart from food.
I'm staying very sane though.
I'm doing okay.
Yeah, we're doing fine.
We're doing fine. We're now wearing suits. It took us 3 attempts to start this podcast. I'll put the outtakes at the end.
Here's a good one for you. Would you rather never eat chocolate again or never eat crisps again?
Oh, never eat chocolate. That's not even a question. So, like, I go through maybe 1 bar of, like, Cadbury's Fruit and Nut a month. And a sharing pack of crisps a day.
Easy.
What would you choose? You eat a bit more chocolate than me. If it included, like, chocolate digestives as well.
I don't care much for chocolate digestives.
You're a plain digestives boy.
Yeah.
Fair, me too.
But I would
With,
also...
like, spready cheese. Oh.
Oh.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Okay. But I would also go for crisps. Like, I would never eat chocolate again. Yeah.
Still have ice cream.
I don't know. I'm really not...
Crisps are good.
See, that's also why I'm not big on, like, fasting, because I really don't care, like, to give something up for a while. Like, that's chill. Yeah. I don't know. It's a weird one to be like, oh my god. Not gonna drink beer for a month? You're like, yeah.
Got my cider.
No. No, but it's like, I don't know.
No, for sure. I think crisps and popcorn are really good for B-tier movies that don't quite hold your attention enough, but you don't want to sit on your phone for.
Yeah.
So this is one you've not seen before. You've got something to kind of munch, but you can still stay looking at something.
And with chocolate, I'm always like, I get chocolate for Christmas and, like, for Easter. Like the little Easter eggs, chocolate eggs.
Yeah.
But what I always do is I don't eat them, that chocolate. And then there's a point where I'm like, okay, I can't eat chocolate right now. And I've got the stash. And so I just go through the entire thing with, like, 2 days.
Well, I'm saying, like, as a kid, I never ate sweets at all. And I still don't. But there's these things that your parents brought that are, like, little...
Nimm zwei.
Nimm zwei.
Yeah.
But they're just little, like, flavored sweets. I don't know. I guess they're not really comparable to anything in the UK. They're quite tasty, though. But... I mean, we ran out yesterday. I'm not, like, craving, but we had them in a bowl in the middle of the dining table, and, like, yeah, you take one as you pass, for sure. But, like, I could easily live without.
Yes.
In saying that, Uta, if you're watching, please send more.
Please send more. The wine was great.
The wine was very nice. Thank you for sending wine. Yeah, we got sent an emergency food delivery of 3 bottles of wine.
The wine was great, but actually we want Lakumi.
Meanwhile, we can't get food delivered anymore, so we're actually like...
It's fine.
Do we queue for Morrison's?
Well, we'll have to at some point. It's fine.
It's fine.
I'll sacrifice and get up really early.
It's a shame. Well, that's the thing. They're opening late and closing early now. So it's not even like you can go at 10 at night or 8 in the morning. It's like, oh, we open.
Maybe I'll have to do the whole tenting for the new iPhone or for a concert kind of vibe.
I do laugh.
Tenting
so
for
Apple,
new crisps.
Apple have closed all their stores for 2 weeks and given everyone paid vacation.
Fair.
Good for them.
Good.
A good thing for them. They've kept their factories in, I think it's Taiwan, open though.
Oh.
So
boys,
they're just kind of hoping no one checks that one. I was like, wow,
we've exposed you now.
A good thing from the worst company in the world? No, don't be silly. Don't be silly.
Don't be silly.
We thought we'd give you a wee update though on what we've been watching.
Yes.
So last episode, or two before.
Yeah.
Not the MCU one, but the one before that. We started watching Money Heist.
Mm-hmm.
First two episodes were very good.
Yeah.
It's not anymore.
It's all over the place now.
It's really dropped. We're halfway through season 2.
Mm-hmm.
And we were actually saying this. If we had stopped on episode 3 instead of episode 2 in season 1, I don't think we'd continue watching the show. Like, our first impression would be so low.
Very different, at least. Yeah. Very different, yeah.
But it, like, immediately just kind of jumped off the train.
Yeah. I'm just so annoyed because it is so close to being really good.
The characters are there. They just focus on the wrong ones.
On the wrong characters, and they have, like, stuff where I'm like, no, just no. It's stuff like they have a plan, and everything is going according to the plan, but everyone's freaking out because it's not going according to the plan.
They've got kind of, like, backup plans and emergency plans. So, like, what do they do if a couple of hostages escape?
Yeah.
You know? And we see that they have accounted for that. It's like, that's not the plan, but if that happens, they have things
They're all
to do.
Good, yeah.
Yeah. And then that happens, and everyone inside is like, ah!
Everything's gone to...
What do we do? Everything's gone wrong. And then they all start, and they all hate each other. And it's like, they spent 5 months together without any major fallouts that we've seen so far.
Mm.
And all of a sudden, they're locked in the building together, and they're all trying to, like, shoot each other.
Mm. Yeah.
I don't get it.
I don't know. I think the last episode that we've seen was the first time where I'm like, okay, now I kind of see that they give reasoning for them, like, going a bit mad, because it was like, okay, this character has slept 4 hours in the last 5 days. That's why he's on edge. I'm like, okay, thank you. I totally get why he's on edge.
But they also had the whole thing, like, so the episode we stopped on yesterday,
mm-hmm.
where one of the Nairobi, the girl in charge of printing the money,
knocks out the guy
in charge, and is like, this is a matriarchy now. And okay, it was a bit on the nose, but I was like, if the show...
before he was like, this is a patriarchy,
it was only
I'm
mentioned
running the
in
thing.
passing. Like, it wasn't a thing, and then to end on, like,
yeah,
whatever. And I was like, if the show wants to go that direction, fine. If it's as kind of in your face as that, then...
Because they do have elements of feminism, surely.
I mean, the main character is a female.
Yeah.
You know, and then the lead inspector on either side is a female. So that like, I had no problem with that.
Yeah. No, that was on the nose.
So it was a bit on the nose, and I was like, I'm not a fan of on the nose on either end of the spectrum. It should be said. But then the next episode had all 3 of the lead female characters mess up and acknowledge that.
Yeah.
To the point where the guy in charge is now back in charge, and it's kind of like, so why the strong feminist message? Because it's kind of like you're backing on yourself now, and saying like, oh, the guys do it better.
Worse,
and I genuinely think that's worse.
No, especially because it wasn't like he took back his position by force, but he was like,
I think it's time to be back in charge.
Yeah,
and she was like,
yeah, it's all yours, and you're like, oh my god.
Ooh, like they really. So I think that's worse. Like, if you're gonna go feminism, go feminism.
Yeah.
Like, fine.
Fine.
No, but I think, well, for me, feminism should be equality, not a strong patriarchy or matriarchy.
No, absolutely.
So like,
that's very true.
And I think like I would say the strongest character is Berlin, who is in charge of the heist on that side, and I think the inspector, who is female, is brilliant. Like, she sells her role really well. The nose piercing's questionable as a 40-plus-year-old woman. But
maybe it's a trend in
it's
Spain.
A trend in Spain. Who knows? But that's fine. And I don't think the main character, who's one of the female heisters,
she's not a main character.
Well, this is the thing. But she is. Like, she's the one that does the voiceovers. It's all from her POV. And I think she has no reason to be there.
That is part of, like, in the first 2 episodes, she also is the main character. And then she's just not afterwards. And so it's really confusing why they would start off with her. Maybe it's going to come in again because now she's
been captured.
Yeah. I mean, are we spoiling it? But she's at least isolated. So she has her own plot line now.
Yes.
That is apart from the group main character of heisters, you know, because they are one character for a lot of film.
Yeah, but I think it's a shame that, like, she's the only one when they go through what every heister is there for that has zero purpose. And they even acknowledge she has the shortest fuse. She's the one that will mess up, you know, so you have to be really careful. Like, the guy that's in charge of it was like, look, you know, you're the one that could mess up. So they have, like, a kind of heart-to-heart. Lo and behold, she messes up. But it's, like, fine if... So one of the other guys that kind of has a bit of a go-out, he's there because he's, like, he's a tech genius, you know? And it's like, okay, fine. Like, you would put up with... You know, there's a give and a take.
Yeah.
But if there's only a take...
Yeah.
You know, like, what do you offer the group apart from just pure numbers? But they've already got two guys that were just pure numbers, but they were like muscle and they
got the guns.
They did it well. You know, they didn't say anything. They weren't the main character.
Yeah.
So I think she's just kind of superfluous, which is odd for a main character to be. And I think it's a shame.
Also not good in terms of feminism.
No, if they wanted to gender swap her and Berlin, though, it would be fine. Like, she's a really strong actress. So it's just a shame that they keep messing up and making mistakes that... I mean, it's such a good plan, and there are elements where I'm like, oh, I don't know what his plan for that is. But then when the guy that's done this master plan is making mistakes that you wouldn't make as a person...
If they would just cut out all the flash... So when they mess up, and they then flash back to them saying, like, oh, if this happens, we gotta do this. But then they go back to them having messed up and going like crazy, like, oh, everything is falling apart. You're like, you can't believe them. Because it's like, you have a plan for this. Yeah. Why are you all going nuts? Oh, guys.
That's insane. And they don't watch the hostages. That's like rule 1.
Yeah.
They just like, oh, we'll leave them in a room. Then lo and behold, they free themselves.
Anyway, we'd make much...
I think it would be... Yeah. Well, that is something we noticed, actually, and we were actually talking about this yesterday, is that the first thing, if you've got a job, like a heist, right, where it's not you're employed by some corporate billionaire, but, like, it's a small group of people, there's, 8 of them, you can afford to have, like, the pre-planning and the time to make sure you're robbing somewhere with people that you get on with.
Yeah.
Because they get in, close the doors, and within an hour, they've all fallen out. You know, and it's like that whole...
You spent 5 months together.
5 months together, and then it's like, oh, you know, why should you be in charge? And it's like, because they appointed him the leader 5 months ago.
Yeah.
You know, he's always meant to be the one in charge, and what he say goes. And then it's like, oh, they have a vote, and then it's like, okay, even the vote passes for what he wants. Then the other two of them are like, nope, we're gonna mess everything up for everyone else. And
it's strange.
It's
and then having seen Ocean's 11, where they pull everything off in 2 weeks.
Yeah,
very different like, kind of dynamic.
Yeah, and they're all hyper professional and get it done. And it's a real shame this show's kind of jumped off.
We'll see.
I'm saying we'll definitely continue watching season 2. If it doesn't improve, I don't think I'm gonna watch the next 2 seasons.
But before we run out of time, I would say we got to get on
Taika Waititi.
We gotta give him the time he deserves. It's definitely one of our favorite directors.
Consistently hilarious. So we've seen
probably his most known internationally films.
Yes, yeah. So we've both seen What We Do in the Shadows, Hunt for the Wilder People, and of course Thor Ragnarok.
Yes.
I catch Jojo Rabbit in cinemas.
I haven't seen that yet.
Fair. But yeah, I think the first film I saw of him was What We Do in the Shadows.
The first film I've seen was Hunt for the Wilder People.
Oh, okay, I caught that much further after. It was only after I saw... Because I saw What We Do in the Shadows and thought it was hilarious. I maybe watched it twice. Like, it was good, but it's definitely, like, it's short. Quite compact. And then after seeing Thor Ragnarok and realizing it was the same guy, I was like, I need to see more of his films. And then went and...
It was actually... I was in New Zealand...
Okay.
On the dairy farm, the organic dairy farm, where I did like three weeks of volunteering, and they were like, right, we're gonna show you a very Kiwi film, and so that was the film they showed me. Oh, wow. So I didn't know it was him either, but yeah, very much enjoyed it.
Did you see What We Do in the Shadows after that then?
Yeah.
Yeah, cool.
But like I think a year later or something.
Fair. But no, I think I do think he is the best part of his movies. I think his acting is incredible as well.
Yeah.
Which is why I probably prefer What We Do in the Shadows more than Hunt for the Wilder People. He's only just in that, and he obviously gives the performance that matches his humor perfectly.
I think yeah, What We Do in the Shadows is amazing because I honestly I live for the awkwardness of that film. Everything is so like, oh my god.
But it's also, so if you've not seen it, it's about 3-4 vampires that live in a flat together in Wellington, New Zealand.
Yeah.
And it's kind of, in terms of if films follow one genre, it's a university flat film essentially, which of course is very relatable for us. Although not, because we do our bloody dishes.
Yes.
But
and someone pays their rent. Some of us pay rent.
But no, it's very relatable. The characters are very awkward and human, despite being vampires.
Yeah.
And it's nice. There's no kind of forced drama. It's just them living out life.
Oh yeah,
and
absolutely.
what life would be like. Which is a nice dynamic.
No, yeah, it's like it doesn't take the vampires to a very different level of like, oh, they're all the way out there and different mystic beasts or whatever. It's just like, no, the vampires are human, the werewolves are human.
Yeah, and the problems they have are human problems. So they can't get into clubs because they're not invited in.
Yeah.
That's a problem that students have all the time, where they can't get into clubs, you know?
That's brilliant. It's so funny.
Yeah, people not doing their dishes. There's that one antisocial person in the flat that's kind of, you're invited to the flat meeting, but you don't have to come, you know, and it's, the humor combined with that is done very well. You know, it's the new member of the group that they fall out with, but it's like, we're a bit harsh on him.
Yeah.
It's just
or like he's, you know, where he goes around showing off that I'm a vampire and therefore gets the vampire hunters.
Yeah, he's in the cool group, you know.
Yeah. It's like you definitely have people like who do that, like, oh, showing off that they're part of the group now or whatever,
and then get kicked out because of that. Whereas I think Hunt for the Wilder People is much more focused. It's about, you know, story about family.
Yeah, and it is a bit over the top at the end, which is fine, you know, because it is. Crazy, but
that's not the part of the film I remember really though. Like when they're driving away from the police. But I would definitely strong recommending. It's again a very personal story that's relatable and is still funny.
Yeah.
For in a different way slightly though. And then the characters are awkward. I think the dialogue is still obviously sharp.
Yeah. No, absolutely.
And the same thing that For Ragnarok feels very improvised, but in the best way. And the best character is Korg, Taika Waititi's. He's just brilliant. I was surprised. I know you've not seen it, but Jojo Rabbit.
Yeah.
Surprised it's not that funny. Like it really leads into the awkward.
Oh yeah, you said that like all the jokes were in the trailer.
All the jokes are in the trailer,
which means that a lot of the film is not funny.
Yeah, so you got a 2-minute trailer and an hour and a half 2-hour movie,
which I think is fair because a lot of people express concern to have a film that deals with the Third Reich and then it being
a comedy
funny. Yeah.
Which is definitely not the first time that's been done, though. Like, going all the way back to, The Great Dictator.
Yeah.
You know, we've been making fun of Hitler for a very long time.
Oh, surely, yeah.
There's definitely, it leads into the awkward far more than the funny, but almost awkward to the point that it's not funny anymore.
Oh, okay.
And it's still, it fits because it's a kid that is in the Hitler Youth, and that is a bit awkward.
Yeah, maybe that's the point.
I'm interested in watching it again in kind of a second viewing with that mindset. Whereas I went in with the expectation of, okay, this will be like his more indie films again, a bit more humorous.
Interesting.
It's definitely a coming of age story and a really good one.
Okay.
The small fat kid with glasses in the trailers is not in the film anywhere near enough. He is hilarious. But all of his jokes are in the trailer, all of them, which is a real shame.
That is a shame.
Again, it's a really good coming of age story.
He seems very much like the scout in Up.
Yeah, I don't remember Up that much at all.
But it's just it's comic relief. It's a small fat kid.
Yeah.
I don't know, maybe that's also his thing, Hunt for the Wilder People.
Small fat kids. No, I would say it does seem like he's ticked off all the different things now that you've got the kind of brother dynamic in Thor Ragnarok. You've got the coming of age story in Jojo Rabbit. You've got the kind of family Hunt for the Wilder People and the very kind of mid-20s human experience in What We Do in the Shadows.
Yeah,
I'd be interested to see. So his other films are Boy and Eagle versus Shark. which we haven't seen.
Yeah.
They came out before Shadows. Be interesting to watch them. If you guys have seen them, let us know if they're worth watching.
Good.
Yeah.
If they're...
Or are they the death proof of the Taika Waititi? What's your favourite of the 4 then? Or the 3 that you've seen?
In terms of humor, What We Do in the Shadows. Like, that's quite obvious to me.
Okay.
I'm not sure if, like, I would, on just, say if it is the day that I have to spend inside and go watch any movie, I might go for Thor Ragnarok first.
A bit more fun.
Well, it's a bit more like... It's more of a movie that I'd watch.
A movie?
Yeah.
What does that mean?
It's just like it's a proper film, you know. It's got more elements than just the humor. Whereas
yeah.
What We Do in the Shadows is just
it's just
much smaller, you know.
No, yeah, I get that.
And so but it's very enjoyable.
I think Thor Ragnarok's good as well. I mean, we did touch on this briefly yesterday, but it's one of the few MCU films that can be enjoyed entirely on its own.
Yeah.
So there's not too much about the Infinity Stones or anything like that.
Oh yeah.
You could just sit down, not really knowing any of the characters, and enjoy it.
Yeah, you don't have to know much before or after or anything of that. Yeah.
Interestingly though, I think his humor is definitely very subjective. Like, I've sat down and watched What We Do in the Shadows with people, and they're like, you know, and they're kind of looking at you as you laugh, and it's like the 5th time I've seen the movie, and I'm still hilarious, finding it hilarious. They're kind of looking at you like,
okay. He's like,
because I think it does extend beyond just like awkward situations. But I think if you're that sort of person that does kind of get a bit awkward when characters do stuff that's awkward.
Oh yeah.
You might find it a little bit off-putting.
Oh, maybe if that is a bit too close to home as well. I don't know. It can be like, I see myself in that character to the point where I'm not finding it funny.
That's true, actually.
That would be bad.
There's none of the characters you really want to be like, oh, that's definitely me.
Yeah.
They're all flawed in a brilliant way.
Yeah.
Interesting. No, I would say What We Do in the Shadows is my favourite too. Although I don't think I'd go back to Thor Ragnarok that much. I think there's too much other movie for me there. Like, all the stuff on Asgard.
Yeah.
You can just kind of like...
Okay, yeah.
Which is fine. Like, it works for the MCU and Thor's character development. I think it's good fun, but I would rather rewatch What We Do in the Shadows. And Hunt for the Wilder People, probably the least. Although it's still brilliant, so that's quite a testament to his filmmaking. Again, I just think it doesn't have enough of him in it. Like, he's the...
Yeah.
I don't know what you call them. The priest? Who does funerals? Must just be priest.
Yeah.
He plays the priest. And it is funny, but it's just kind of like... It's definitely that little segment he wrote with himself in mind and then was like, okay, the rest of the film's something else.
Or it's just like, I want to have a cameo, so what is the smallest...
Where can I put myself?
Yeah, what's the smallest thing that I can still
put
myself in?
Like him in Jojo Rabbit, so he plays Hitler.
Yeah.
I think, without spoiling it, his last appearance in that film should have been cut. So it's there to kind of hammer home a character development step.
Yeah. That you don't need...
It's not necessary, because I think his absence would have done the exact same thing.
Ah.
And it's not that funny. Like, it's just a little bit... It's very obvious what it's doing. I don't know if that's just the way I view films now, but it did feel a little bit out of place.
Yeah, it's... I mean, I haven't seen it, but again, that seems to be like a thing that if it's too on the nose, then...
It just kind of takes away from it.
Yeah. Interesting. Now
Yeah.
I do want to see what that is. What's that last moment? What's going on?
No, and feel free to spoil it in the comments because I read them, not Jonas. So
that's not
fine.
true. I read them just
read
after
them,
you.
I read them to you.
It's like we do get emails about like that stuff, but then they're already opened.
Oh, okay.
I'm like, someone has read them.
Yeah, no, so if you disagree with me on that, let me know. But I definitely thought the kind of character development of Jojo was done without that last scene with Taika in it. Which is fair. But apart from that, I think the film is very well done. And Rebel Wilson was actually okay in it.
Oh, she Oh, is she like a drill sergeant?
Yeah.
Okay, because I think I've seen something.
Nazi secretary.
Okay.
Lady. She's fine.
Okay.
Doesn't ruin the movie, which is.
Because you feel like just like she's definitely a type.
Yes, the type of humor that she gives out is not what I usually enjoy in films.
So Taika, but not Rebel Wilson.
She changes her humor for the film.
Okay, that's good.
Which is really good. Yeah.
Nice. That's also good to see. Like,
no, because I saw her in the trailer and the casting thing, and I was like, oh no, please, no. Like, that's my thing I don't enjoy. Is it Pitch Perfect with her in it? I don't enjoy that film anyway. Like, it's fine, but then there's that weird bit where they all start throwing up and rolling around in it, and I'm just like, what is going on? Like, how is that enjoyable for anyone to see? It's not one of those like, oh, I could see myself in that situation, because no one has ever been in that situation. At least I hope not. And for me anyway, that's where humor is funny. When there's characters that are funny, then you can relate to it because you have friends like my boy Jerry here that are funny, you know. Yeah. Or you find yourself in realistic situations that are funny, rather than like this weird, gross out comedy that feels very American and.
No, I mean, if the situation is out there to a point where like, okay, this would never happen to me, then I guess it's also it distances you.
See, I think that's why I tend to find films like What We Do in the Shadows, or Thor Ragnarok, that are like, they're not straight up comedies, but there's a story with characters that are funny rather than a funny story.
Yeah,
which is definitely. Or it's like Bridesmaids, where like every second of that movie is trying to make you laugh, which is just too much. Yeah, like, you need to have your breaks and your downs, and I think that's what We Do in the Shadows does very well, 'cause it has that bit in the middle where it's not a happy film for a little
very
bit.
Sad.
Yeah, and whereas if films are just like laugh, 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 I think very quickly you notice that and you're kind of like, okay, it just feels like
maybe
an
not
hour and a half
time.
long, hour and a half long trailer for a movie that doesn't really exist.
Yeah, no, absolutely. No.
Yeah. That's why I'd be terrified to write a comedy.
I don't know. When I write, I tend to want to put jokes in. It's really hard for me to write and not.
See, I would
not do that.
Like, definitely when I'm looking at your scripts that you write, I would try and make jokes that I would make in real life rather than like just have a character that jokes.
Yeah,
which is like, oh
no. I think it's I mean, stuff like that is very obvious if you're like, this character is purely there for comic relief, which also has its place, like, absolutely. Yeah. But if it's just comic relief by they come out with a joke every once in a while, then don't do it. I mean, that's why, say, Long Shot has Seth Rogen in it, which is like often, you know, it is just like,
there's a risk.
I mean, that's a very obvious type of humor as well, but I think he does a really good job in that film because it's just his character that is
he's
funny in the position, like in the situation that he's in.
But so also he's not just there because he's funny. Like, he's there because he's a writer in the film.
So it's not like he's a funny character, but his character in the situations is funny.
Yeah. Like, he comes out with lines that we all have a friend that probably comes out with stuff that, and you go, yeah, they're funny to be around. So you understand why they're around each other because you know he's a good laugh. So yeah, definitely I would recommend that film. I don't think I'd jump to watch it again. Maybe in a year.
Maybe.
But definitely if someone was like, oh, do you want to watch it? Like, there's 3 of us and we've got it on, I'd be like, yeah, sure. You know, not too bad there. So yeah, check it out. And if you've got any more questions for us,
yes,
leave them down below. Yeah.
Click the bell icon.
That's not. Oh, that is the bell icon.
That is the bell.
Subscribe.
And
like.
And share.
Oh,
I'm getting on that sharing thing.
Sharing really does help us out if you enjoyed listening to us. If you made it this far in the video, thank you. We hope it was a little bit entertaining.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome. And if you want us to wear suits more often, you can also let us know.
Yeah, it's quite hard to buy more suits. I've only got like 3, 2.
You can borrow some of my stuff. I
mean, this would be the sleeves if I didn't roll them out. What are you, 5'3" and 2/4?
3. 3/4.
5'2".
5'4¾".
4'8".
Check out my IMDb to find out.
That you wrote yourself.
Shameless self-promotion.
Yeah, when people are like, "Oh yeah, you've got a Wikipedia," that's insane. He writes it himself.
Not the Wikipedia.
It doesn't count.
The IMDb I did because it was absolutely flawed.
It was very wrong.
It was stuck on me in primary school.
Yeah.
So it was so out of date that I had to.
If anyone wants to make me a Wikipedia page, feel free.
We can do that.
No, we can't do it for ourselves. It's not genuine then.
An IMDb page though.
We can do it all in like Italian or something funny.
If you want us to make an IMDb page for ourselves, let us know, and then we'll ask you to do it for us.
Fair. We could do it for the movie as well.
We should.
Get ahead of it. Right.
Yeah, that's it for today.
That's it for today. Have a good one. Hello, welcome to Airing Out. I'm Josh.
And I'm Jonas.
And I'm Jerry. And after numerous
You
complaints...
are Jerry. This is Jerry.
Damn it.
It's alright.
Restart
It's
again.
right.
I've taken too long of a pause. I was like, I don't have anything
I feel
funny
we
to
should
say
leave
to
this in.
Start again. Hi there. Well,
This is Josh. I'm Jonas, and this
I'm
is...
Jerry. And again. I'll put it in the blooper reel.
Oh, wow. Yeah, and you laugh at me for doing 7 takes. Yeah.